What's going on, Virgo? This is your girl, Miss RHW, with another love reading for you guys. And we're going to be doing something just a smidge different this time. I'm going to be pulling you guys a different spread, but we're going to be still focusing on your love lives. This will be for those that have Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising in their chart. Of course, this means that this reading is for the collective of Virgo. Therefore, certain aspects of the reading may or may not resonate with you. So, if that does tend to be the case, I just ask that everybody understand that somebody's storyline may be what's being picked up along with yours. So just leave that for someone else and just pick up where the reading may continue for you. If nothing in the reading has plugged out any situation for your situation, anything from your situation that you're still interested in getting a personal reading because you like how I read, all that information is in the description box below. And I'm building a community. If you're an esports gamer, looking to mingle, or you're looking to have some new friends, meet some like-minded individuals, hopefully network, I do have a wonderful platform for everyone to meet. And I am excited to see you guys there. It's free to enter. You just have to have your ID present to make sure there is no one under the age of 21 entering the community. Just to make sure, we keep the kids safe and we have the big, bad fun for us adults, okay? But all right, Virgo, let's see what's going on for you in your season for love. And what's to bring, Let's see what comes up for y'all. So I'm going to pull two I Ching cards, one for the very beginning and then and one last one to wrap up this reading here, okay? Number one. This should be very easy. So number one. All right. So we'll hold this off to the side, but we'll read what the message is, and we'll count all the lines at the end to see what the message is that is held for us. So we're just gonna put this here. I'll just put this right here. But the message says, there is no weakness associated with this card. It represents pure and integrated creative power, bringing into movement all things in the universe and human life. A time under this sign is full of inspiration and energy, leading to inner growth and worldly success. Use the fortune of destiny with with intelligence and farsightedness. Ensure that your actions also serve to bring great fortune, happiness, and prosperity to your fellow human beings. Don't waste your creative powers on unplanned activities. Sometimes it is even better to do nothing at all. Now you can achieve even your highest goals. You need to organize your powers, behave honestly, and keep stable. The more you trust you have, the more trust you have in your own powers, the stronger you'll become. Sorry for that reading, y'all, but yes. So this is kind of giving us a deeper message as to what this reading is about for you guys, for you Virgos. So this was that. Let's see what's going on. Okay. Okay. Look at here. Look at all this earth energy. Okay, I think I'm just gonna be straight up when I say this. It's your fault, Virgo. All this earth. That's because you're earth, obviously. But I'm just kidding. Seriously though. Makes sense. Earth, water. You're possibly your seventh house, but this is Cancer energy. And then you got a little splash of fire, which is okay. All right. So this current situation has something to do with a new commitment, a promise of something um to go the distance, to to materialize in some fashion, like whether this is a relationship. I believe this could be a relationship that's towards strong commitment or building foundations for a legacy. And this is really nice. This could be that some of you guys have gone steady, some of you guys have maybe talked about getting together. Maybe this is about marriage and you guys are kind of entering a status, not so much girlfriend and boyfriend, but maybe fiance. But wow. Interesting. High Priestess comes out straight away. I don't didn't really know what I wanted to clarify for this, so we'll just come back to the High Priestess later. But to me, when I see her come up in the Ace of Pentacles, this is great. I feel like whatever you guys were doing, you were you in your entire in that space when this relationship was attracted to you, when this opportunity was presented to you. Um, I feel like you didn't need to do too much. You just needed to maintain balance of your emotional state, of your feelings, and being very sensitive to not only your needs, but in doing so, it allowed you to be sensitive and utilize that sensitivity, the information that's picked up from that sensitivity to your advantage when it comes to other people, especially when it came to the connection that you currently have with maybe this Cancer or this Libra or somebody in your life, or Pisces even, or someone in your life that you find to be very interesting, very has someone that has emotional depth, who may not always say what's on their mind, or always express themselves, but you can pick up what they're putting down. So I think it's interesting. You have a very spiritual kind of uh, connection, that's, or it's some sort of spiritual aspect of yourself, maybe something self-explorative here. But I just think that I feel like maybe you, in the past, when it came to relationships, you always maybe came in doing a lot of things, trying to make things work. You noticed where things were not up to par, and trying to figure out how the relationship was even going to maintain itself. How was it going to be sustained if it didn't have some of the basic stuff? You would usually be the person to, oh, all right, suck it up, put up with it, or fill in the gaps on your own, which would deplete you, and you find an imbalance in the connection because that person isn't stepping up in the ways that they need to compensate for the things that that you have to fill for it. If that makes sense. So I think this time around, with this kind of connection, you didn't have to do nothing. You didn't have to just, you didn't do anything. You were perfect, natural in your natural habitat, right? This person just was like, "Hi, how are you?" And they were like, "What? Who? Me? You talking to me?" And they were like, "Yeah, who do you think I'm talking to? Let's go out on a date." You're like, "What?" So I feel like this whole thing was just you being in the moment, you living step by step, you being considerate to your feelings, and that showed like a level of integrity that this person can respect, and it just is like a harmonious reoccurring cycle here. The past shows the Queen of Cups. So this is where I feel like this is where you come in, Virgo, as the typical humanitarian. You're hearing the person's sob story, and you just know that, it's hard for you to step away from somebody or step away from a situation and not help them. It's hard for you to hear their issues and not think about what could be done to ease their suffering even today. And I feel like with the Queen of Cups here, this is a generosity, this is a compassion, there's an empathy, but I think there's also this pickiness. And I say pickiness because the Queen of Cups, she knows who that person is, or she knows what she wants in her cup. She doesn't tell anybody. She doesn't share it with everybody. She keeps it to herself. The High Priestess and the Queen of Cups are virtually, in my eyes, it's almost the same person. She's just tends to be a lot stronger with her feminine energy and her spiritual concentration, and she's more dominant in the ways in which her emotions kind of are maintained with her spiritual practice and so forth, if that's what she has. So I just feel like right here there has been I feel like there has been lots of considering other people's situations, trying to put the shoe on of the foot of the other person, but it doesn't happen on the other end. Or at least it hadn't happened on the other end, because I feel like there are certain things that about your situation that it makes it hard for people to understand or replicate, and you've pretty much gotten your shit together, Virgo. To be frank, the Nine of Pentacles talks about independence and financial security and independence. Okay, you're standing on your own, you don't need anybody, and this is the placement in which it talks about what can be manifested from actions that are taken. So I just think the action that really possibly really needs to be taken is to continue to pamper yourself, love on yourself, and show people what it looks like to be within your inner circle. I mean, to have you open your space of safety and security up to somebody who has hopefully given you something to work with, that has allowed you the sense of safety to take care of the sense. This gave you the sense of like this maturity or attitude or mindset that they will be able to take care of you. Like, I think this is just like, you're very vulnerable right now. Despite how how your boundaries are at the moment, they're pretty strong. but you're not vulnerable in like the, oh, I'm too sensitive, I need help sort of way, because I feel like this is just more of like you're taking on some sort of emotional tax, and you're handling this of course with grace. It's just you're handling it on your own because you know that you can trust yourself to give you what you need through this process. And I just feel like there really isn't much for anybody else to do other than to show up for you in ways that in which you may or may not need. I just think with the Five of Pentacles in this position, suggesting past or what needs to be sacrificed in order for this connection to go and the direction you'd like to. It talks about something not maybe not being all there, maybe lacking in some sort of sense. I think in the past, it was just like lots of charity, or not. I shouldn't say charity, but lots of like struggling, lots of things not being where they could be. I think in the past, maybe there was even something connected to the finances that made this relationship or make the relationships in the past feel like there was always something lacking, whether that's financial stability, whether that's stability between the two of you guys to make it work, whether it's emotional availability from working so hard and trying to do the best that either one of you can to show up authentically and present in the relationship. I think there's just so many things that happen in the past that you're working on just not coming in with a bias. You're working on coming into a situation and not having the old ways of things bleed all over the new stuff, because the Ace of Pentacles is a promise for something new. You don't go back. You don't do the old shit. You work at something to make sure it's grounded and solid so a legacy can be built upon that. And that means you learning from your mistakes and you allowing yourself to grow from it instead of constantly thinking about what has happened already and what can't be done about those things, or couldn't be done about those things because of whatever lack of information you knew then, whatever you didn't know about yourself then. That's not important now. What you didn't know about yourself then is now the tool to use now. And I think this is the whole reason why you could have come up with very, like, if you're in a relationship right now, you feel like you're single because the connection itself is showing you where you had to show up and compensate for the lack in the relationship. I feel like you were filling in the spaces that weren't being filled because maybe there's somebody on the other side that's just too worried about being rejected after committing. But there's too much earth here to suggest that there isn't anything real behind the commitment. So I personally don't understand if the other person is getting cold feet and what have you, or not showing up as authentically or honestly prepared to build a legacy with you. It kind of just, the reason why I say that is because the fourth card here, which talks about how you're going to turn your challenges into stepping stones, is the Ten of Wands. This is, I call this the red hand card. This is I'm doing this all by myself, and I'm not really getting much help because I can't really. Not only can I not trust people to do it right, but I also don't have anyone willing to step up and give me the help I need without necessarily me saying so. I wouldn't mind somebody coming up here and helping me. I don't mind. They don't know the project, but I don't mind them helping me with a specific task or coming into the situation. But if it's not going to be done right, then I might as well just do it myself. Ten of Wands also is like a situation where you're burning out or you're at the verge of burnout, but you're just pushing through to complete the cycle so you can move on and get on to better, greater, and better things. I think the potential for a new stable connection comes from dreaming about it and allowing yourself to believe that that is possible. And now I don't think there's a such thing as settling. Settling is when you know there's some things that just are not being sorted and they've been given time to be sorted, but there's still some aspects that are just either not, that are kept in the dark, ignorant, or they just don't, they're not pursued. You're not asked about it because they don't really want to either. They don't want to address it, and it could be because they themselves have something very similar to how you feel that they don't want to address. And the longer they put off handling that on their own, the longer they tend to kind of not show up very well in their connection for other people because they just can't show up for themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, if I can't show up for me, I'm a definitely half-ass being there for you. And then I can just sit here and tell you, well, I mean, you know what I'm going through. You know what my struggles is. I don't have a job, or a job doesn't pay very well, or I'm struggling, I got debts, or I got situations going on with my family that's making it hard for me to be happy. Whatever it is, gonna keep is the excuse to keep this person from thinking rationally. Yeah, lovers, and I don't do reversals now. So the fact that this card is up reversed in this deck, and I make sure these decks have no reversals in them. Lovers, and that's just the protective. I think this person is not thinking about expansion because obviously this is Gemini, and it being reversed signifies to me that this is a lot of mental energy to going towards the connection, but it's not replenishing it. So I think there's somebody that's like overthinking it, maybe not taking action, analysis paralysis, and so sabotaging the connection, even though it possibly is against what they actually feel they want or what they feel led to do, which is to preserve it, to make it work, to do things that is authentic with their hearts. And that's not really what, of course, this is really out of your hands as far as that goes. But what is in your hands is about whether or not you take this part of you, the part of you that's ready to settle down, that's ready to commit, that's ready to make this relationship work, and find the person that will basically march along with you, who will willingly fight for that. And now the Five of Pentacles can suggest that too, though. Like, even though there has been some lack, there may have been some things going on in the connection that just could have been better, needed to be not worked on, still need to be worked on, and both of y'all still hustling and busting through the situation as best you can. There's just constant hangups, constant things where you guys on your ends are still handing large portions of your hero's journey on your own and need to possibly. But the ways in which you guys come together is from your resolved stories. That I think could be the situation there too. For some of you, I really think that could be the case. Yeah, red hand energy, man. You're like, bro, I feel single in this connection. There is the potential for relationship for love, but where have we gone together that shows that this is gonna happen? Because I feel this connection, the lovers. I feel this connection between me and this person. Virgo says Virgo, but Virgo also says, but there isn't much being done about it. Despite whatever I'm feeling, whatever those person's telling me they're feeling, whatever connection we supposedly perceive together that is the same, it doesn't seem to show up the same because I behave differently. I'm doing things to show up and make this relationship that to make this relationship stand on its own hind legs. On my end, your legs are just either bouncing about, struggling to stand, don't want to stand, lethargic, hungry, whatever that shit is. The immediate needs, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs are trumping the wonderful aspects of that pyramid, self actualization, and all that other shit. That's gone out the window because that person's basic stuff is still being worked on. They're still trying to get to a place where they can be like, yes, I am a full person, and now I can take care of a half a person, a third of a person, when me referring to children, and still be a supporter for my other half, which is the spouse or the significant other. So, all right, Virgo. Okay. There's no weakness here for being vulnerable. There's no weakness for allowing this person space to show up for the connection. But at the same time, if you've been giving them time and you've had given them time, but you are getting exhausted with the amount of bullshit you're being dealt with no will help or anything, but you still feel like there's a connection between you and this person, and they're just still not showing up the way they should if they really were meant to be. I just don't know. Because to be honest with you, soulmates are there's so many different types of soulmates out here. There's long term, there's short term, there's reasons, and there's seasons. Okay, and there's lifetimes. There's so many different types of soulmates. You could have ran into a season one. You could have ran into a reason one. A reason soulmate, and a reason soulmate. Just hate that card, by the way. This card is so creepy looking, but it could just be like, this is circumstantial, this is situational, this isn't meant to take you on to the next phase. You're meant to take whatever spiritual lessons that amplify your love, that amplify your personality and what you feel like really unleashes your true nature. That goes to somebody who's going to show do the work. And yeah, definitely don't have a pushback issue with it, and I give you excuses or reasons to fail. All right. So we had number one. There is no weakness associated with this card, and 21. Okay. So we're gonna like count the lines here, and then I'm gonna read you what the lines say, and then I'll read you the last message here that to wrap up this reading. So you're the first people to do this, so just listen to me, okay? We're working this out. Okay, we working it out and I like it. So let's go ahead and do that. So we have number one is the same, two is different, three is different, four is the same, five. So one it's like two, three, and five. Two, three, and five. So let's read two, three, and five. Two. A benevolent helping power is beginning to take effect. Someone of enormous benefit to you appears in your immediate environment. This person easily succeeds in having a positive influence upon others. A lot can be achieved together. Okay. A new sphere of activity will open up. Power and success will have an attractive effect on your fellow man. Be careful, but take care. Pride comes before a fall. Hold on to your ideals with all your might, all your strength. And lastly, number five. Whether deciding in favor of the spiritual or worldly path, you find yourself in harmony with the wholeness of life. Your influence upon your surroundings is growing. Someone will seek your advice. Now, the high priestess is someone who people pursue for spiritual counsel. She's a priest. When they feel lost, they come to her. Ironically, she may not say nothing. The answers come from her listening. So I think that that's really what it is. It's like there is so much that you do for this person that it's hard for you to see. It's hard for you to understand how there could be so little going on. Very little motivation to do things. I don't know. I just feel like you know that you want more. You want a romantic sort of thing with this connection, but it's struggling. It's struggling, and I don't know. Maybe it just needs to be vocalized. So let's see what 21 has to offer. Let's see what 21 says. Struggling. Damn, that's crazy, bros. 21 is struggling. You are severely hindered by an outside obstacle or as a result of a destructive person. Don't believe that problems will merely disappear of its own accord. Instead, try to figure out who or what is causing disruption. As soon as it is found, you have to alleviate it uncompromisingly and resolutely before lasting damage occurs. Give justice a wow. That's justice. Bro, this is creepy. All right. Give justice a helping hand on the road to success and don't be unwilling to point out someone's limitations. Misunderstandings and confusion pose a threat in the present situation. Clear guidelines must therefore be drawn and reasonable arrangements made. Only then can the way be fundamentally cleared of difficulties. Put yourself under the microscope. Inhibitions and fears are obstacles which you yourself must overcome in order to make progress. I mean, damn, Virgo, if that message wasn't clear, I don't know what else is, okay? But that's about does it for the love reading for y'all, Virgos, okay? I don't know what's going on with your person. I don't know what's going on with your love life, but you know what? You are golden. You are worth everything that you're asking for. And I don't think you're asking for too much, especially if, again, you have been super considerate and compassionate and understanding about this person's shortcomings, that you've put up with so many other things to kind of keep the relationship going. And they've kind of just been chilling. They've just kind of been, well, I'm still trying to figure out how to stabilize myself for us. And it's like, well, it's definitely just for you because I barely see the result of us. I barely see you translating that into us at all. I just see it going straight to you. Nothing is coming back to the relationship for me. So I'm sure, like in your head, I'm sure you're like, I'd hope so, but do I need to sit here and wait for that to happen? Should I do that? Knight of Pentacles is showing you that you're gonna be feeling single for a long time if you wait. You'd be feeling like, yeah, I'm in a relationship, but for some strange reason, I can't claim this person because this person's never damn ready. But you ready. We see that, Virgs. All right, Virgo. Thank you so much for tuning into your love reading. I will see you guys on the other side. Okay. But until next time, bye, y'all.